Previously on the Brotanical Garden.
He's like, this is the guy you gave the cookie to. I was like, all right, cookie guy.
Goes comment crazy and just pops
He's a
off.
keyboard warrior.
30-minute podcasts. People are apparently more willing to give them a watch. And he pulls out a traffic cone and he just throws it out the car.
Sorry.
Whoa!
Welcome back to the second episode of the week of the Brotanical Garden podcast. This is kind of wild, Kevin. What do you say?
Thursday. Oh my gosh. It's Thursday and a pod is out?
I know, right? It's like kind of unreal.
The frick, Richard? I'm going to do what you did last week. Never mind. I wasn't making the full. I wasn't making the full rotation. Okay, I'm going to say roll, and you're going to say it, and we're going to say it really good.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Wait, who's saying what?
I'm going to say roll, you're going to say it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, looks like we're just going to roll
up. Oh, damn it. I was thinking about fruit roll-ups. That's on me.
All right, here we go.
We tried again. Take two.
All right. Oh, looks like it's time to roll.
Roll it. I was just supposed to say it, dude.
You were.
Roll. No, third time's it.
Welcome to the Brotanical Garden. To ensure nourishment to the saplings, make sure you spread your seed.
Have you heard, like it's March Madness right now, right?
Yeah. How was your bracket?
Obviously.
Did you make a bracket?
I didn't. I actually didn't.
Not even a single bracket.
Not one single bracket. Because, it doesn't even matter because everybody's bracket got busted like the first 2 days. It was wild. But have you seen the women's player for Iowa?
Wait, there's women that play basketball? Trigger!
Trigger!
Nightmare!
Yeah, and
sorry.
And this chick is a baller. Like, makes me want to watch their games because she can hoop. She's
Michelle
like
Jordan?
No, yeah, that's what her nickname should be. Is Michelle Jordan?
Jeez,
dude, her name's Caitlin Clark. She plays for Iowa. And dude, she's literally the Steph Curry of women's basketball right now. Like, probably, like, if she goes to the league, is going to actually would bring eyes to the WNBA. Like, wow, I would watch her.
That's crazy. Well, no, that's not crazy because we would watch them anyway.
No, we wouldn't. Nobody does. There's always the argument of, but anyways, dude, she is nuts. Like, actually quacked.
Is it actually quacked?
Like, you got to see some highlights. Can we pull up some highlights?
Yeah, let's pull up some highlights. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull up a quick highlight if you don't mind.
Yeah, dude, she's actually crazy. Like, just unlimitless range. Kind of has that like swagger about her. Like, just doesn't take shit from anyone.
Let's give it a look.
People that talk.
I saw this clip about somebody like trying to get in her face, and she just like.
She was like, "You're down by 15. Shut up."
Well, no, it was like after the game, and they were doing like the good game, and like somebody like tried to like start talking to her, and she just pretended like she didn't even exist and like shoulder checked her while they were saying good game. It was pretty cool. I don't know if that was her, but it was just a clip I saw. So,
side note, recently a girl got decked, like just got laid out in the good game line at one of these tournament games. They the losing team, she was like a 5th-year senior and just gave her their old right hook in the good game line. So that one was pretty wild. Jeez. You can look that one up. I think she played for Memphis, shocker. But anyways, a lot of crime there. It's horrible.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Anyways,
ready?
Where are we starting?
We are at, I put us right around 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay.
Should we go somewhere else? Where do you want to go?
Yeah. Let's get to like 8 minutes because, I mean, it's pretty much just rinse and repeat because she's that good. It just kind of gets old, I guess.
Okay, I got us at 8 minutes, and here we go.
But while this is going, she
she's a
just
unit.
dropped like okay.
Sorry, but like in a good way.
Number 22, just like buckets. Recently in the most recent game, I think she dropped like 40 points for the win.
Oh my gosh!
Like it's effortless, dude. She pops off, and everybody in the whole building knows
Right.
that she's gonna shoot the ball from 3.
Yeah, I was gonna
even
say
matter.
it seems like she just can shoot from anywhere.
In your mouth.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
I thought Clark was a different person. Clark is pretty skinny, actually.
Dude, just in her face.
That is totally a Steph Curry like. Yeah, watch this.
I think Iowa right now is feeding off it. The question is, can they sustain?
Oh, this is her, right?
Yeah, and this is against the number 2 team in the nation.
And she
pull
doesn't
up.
even.
Just doesn't even hesitate.
Look at that.
Like, dude,
That's-
she's disgusting. That's like probably close to NBA level threes.
Yeah.
Okay, 1.5 down by 2 for the win.
Oh, she has
Buckets.
ice in her veins.
She has ice. Like she's gross, dude. She's so good at basketball. Like I would pull up to an Iowa game just to watch her. Buckets.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
gross.
she is crazy. Does she ever pull up? Does she ever head into the paint a little bit? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure she does, but like all her best shots, obviously, are the
Yeah, I mean,
super far ones.
Doesn't even seem like she has to.
Yeah. So I
That's
mean, there's
crazy.
There's 10 minutes of that of just her pulling up, dropping nukes. But they're in the Final Four. They're in the Final Four right now, and they play South Carolina.
Oh, see, I don't know anything about like what colleges are good for women's basketball.
Or just like like every school has like those weird, like sports that they're good at, like different schools.
You would never
It's like-
expect. Yeah.
Right, yeah, like Gonzaga's known for men's basketball and like nothing else.
Yeah.
So for South Carolina women's basketball, that's their thing. They haven't lost a game this entire season.
Oh wow.
And I'm pretty sure they won the championship last year. So they're like on like a 40-game win streak or something like that. And so it's
geez.
Iowa versus South Carolina in the Final Four. And probably whoever wins that game will win the whole thing.
Does Caitlin Clark have a good team surrounding her? Like, is it? I mean, they're 5.
idea.
There's 5 seeds, so I mean, like, I can imagine they're probably.
No, they're a 2 seed in the tournament.
Oh, they are a
I
2
think they were
seed.
just.
I think
they
I
were
just
just ranked 5th in the nation.
misread that. Okay,
But yeah, so they.
gotcha.
Let's see. Yeah, they play Friday. So I may actually like make a conscious effort to pull up that game and watch it.
I could literally
like the
go.
best-
Well, I mean, it's not in Iowa. I guess I could. I probably can't.
I think it's in Dallas. You want to hop up?
Because
the
that's-
flight?
Do they do like that whole tournament in one spot, like a non-biased spot? Is that kind of how that works?
No, because there's so many teams that they split it up into like 4 locations until it gets down to like the last 4 or 8 teams.
But no one is. There's no bias on like playing on your home court or anything like that, right?
No, there was some controversy with the men's side that like Alabama and Auburn played in Alabama, like in the state of Alabama, like their location for their first 2 games was in state.
Oh,
So people were kind of
but-
upset about that, but it's predetermined. You can't.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it happens every year, and it just kind of gets overlooked. But the tournament's so big that I don't even think it probably matters for home court advantage. But yeah, Caitlin Clark going number 1. I mean, it has to, right? Has to go number 1 in the draft, whenever
Yeah.
that is.
I would think so. I mean, it seems like she's just a whole different breed of athlete.
she's literally the Steph Curry of women's basketball. Could be Michelle Jordan if she has a good pro run.
So does the fallout of like, because I know for football sometimes you can take a football college superstar and bring them to the NFL and they just like fizzle. Is that a thing in basketball or not as much?
I would assume so. I mean, I really don't know for sure. Especially like women's basketball. I think women's basketball, it's much easier for them to plug and play.
I think because, I mean, just basketball in itself. Well, no, I can't say that. I was thinking football would be that way, mainly because of just the size of the dudes. They're big college guys, but when you go to the NFL, it's a whole different thing. And if you're Johnny Manziel, you can't quite, keep up to that.
Everybody
level.
is the biggest, strongest, fastest on their team in the NFL.
But for something like basketball, height plays a factor, and size too. I mean, like really being able to put a body on somebody is a big thing. But for women's basketball, I mean, I don't know how physical it is. I haven't actually really watched any. But I feel like that crossover would be a little bit easier than, say, like the NFL. Wouldn't you think? Women's basketball versus the NFL?
Probably, because I think, just in my opinion, just based off of like watching women's basketball, I think the skill ceiling is like kind of capped at the college level. Like if you're a Caitlin Clark level, or even the chick from South Carolina, I can't remember her name. She's the power forward and she's disgusting, like unstoppable.
Yeah.
If like, I think those are the exceptions of like exceeding the skill ceiling.
Right.
But like, I feel like the threshold to like make a pro team is significantly lower. Maybe the gap's not as large from college to pro as if like, NBA and men's basketball, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure it is the same. Like players fizzle out like in their first couple years just because they don't really grasp the concept. I'm sure NBA and WNBA playbooks, like all the plays they run, are like 10 times more complex than college stuff, because it's the same thing. Like from a college level to a pro level, like everybody's the best of the best.
Yeah,
so
that's true. But you also have, the thing is too, now I could be wrong here because I don't know a whole lot. I've been a part of a club college sport, but I can't really compare that to like a professional level. I don't even know what professional volleyball would be. I guess being on like Team America or something. Yeah, but
Olympic.
Don't you see all the time coaches and people on the coaching staff switching from colleges to the NFL and then things vice versa? Wouldn't you think that like the caliber of coach would be almost the same between the two, to where they would potentially be teaching the same thing? It just depends on the talent they have.
I think at that high level, there's really not much teaching of like skill.
Well, I just mean like when we were talking about like plays and like the different plays, okay. I would think maybe, and I could be wrong, but who knows if, when you go down to college, things just work better than, if you were to try it in the NFL, there's just no chance that would work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Just because of the sole fact that, one college team may have a really good corner, but like the other corner's not as good. So you can kind of pick on the other corner and like run, more complex routes to try to get the weaker corner like off his game. And then you can just bully him all game and like just pass on that side of the field, whereas like NFL, it's a pro level corner. Both of them are going to be like good regardless. I mean, I know there's, better corners than others in the NFL, but at the college level, at the end of the day, like if they got a sophomore out there, that's a 19-year-old kid trying to cover a 6'5", superstar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Like the coaching, like the plays and stuff, I think it's even more of like you can draw up the best play in the world. It's just having that, awareness of in the game, when to call it, like having to like set up to get to that perfect play that'll be like wide open, or like, having the timing and, the nerve to call it whenever you want to call it. It could be risky and whatnot.
Yeah. Well,
Wow, big sports guys. Huh?
yeah. That's all for Kevin and Clay's Sportscast.
All right, and back to Sharkeisha with the weather.
Chartreuse. Wait, that's our administrator.
That's our producer.
Wait, what is she again? What do we hire her for?
I don't know. She just gets coffee.
Why do we pay her? She should be an intern. We should.
Yeah.
She's not really even that like physically, visually appealing at all. I don't even know why she's here.
Half the time, I don't even know where she's at, or if she's even here.
If she even exists. I mean,
Right.
I mean, it's almost like she doesn't exist with how little I see her.
I know.
So, speaking of sports,
Yeah,
do you ever
she's not
watch?
here right now.
Do you ever watch like TikTok or YouTube Shorts?
No, never.
You just post them via the Brotanical
I just
Garden?
post them, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, via the
gotcha.
Brotanical Garden TikTok. Yeah, I do, and man, I'll have some days where my TikTok is on. It's wild, my algorithm. But why?
Yeah.
Why? What do you ask?
So, I came across a realization that I feel like goes sometimes unnoticed, but I saw a video about someone that used to live and be a citizen of North Korea talking about what it's like there. And
Okay.
just like, it's wild,
this-
man. I mean,
Is this the lady from Joe Rogan?
yes. Did you see that?
I saw the podcast. I watched a little bit of it, like a few clips here and there.
Okay. Well,
She's been all over the internet lately. She's been popping like on a bunch of different podcasts and like news outlets.
it's just crazy how when you hear what she has to say, that the United States, like, we just kind of are not necessarily partnered with them, but we are civil, and I think we have to be, right? Because their forces that they have. I mean, if we were to go to war or something like that, it would be total destruction and chaos. I mean, it's probably better that we don't make a move, but it's just like when I hear about what she says, this person, it gives me like dystopian vibes. Like,
Okay.
have you ever seen The Handmaid's Tale on Netflix?
I haven't. I've seen it like on Netflix. Never clicked it.
Well, if you just envision a world that like you are forced to do things and to be certain places, and you're forced to like be happy, so to speak.
Oh,
That it
so,
just
like,
gets pounded into your brain that like, I'm happy. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be.
mhm.
It's just crazy.
Almost like communist kind of feel.
Yeah, I mean, like, they've made movies that have been over the top, and so we think they're over the top because we're fortunate enough to be in the United States. But I mean, a whole other can of worms is like how I think a lot of people that live in the U.S. are starting to kind of maybe sort of take it for granted, as far as like how much we complain about our day-to-day lives and like all the complaints you see on social media. And then you hear this girl and you're like, holy shit, we are so lucky to be living where we are living. So
It is
anyway,
9-day difference.
I'm going to pull it up. And here we go.
All right.
3, 2, 1, and here she blows.
What are the crimes that you could be sentenced to death for?
Is as little as, so in North Korea, every room has to have a portrait of Kims, and the inspector comes out of nowhere in the middle of the night and then touch the portraits. If they see any dust, they say your royalty is not high enough, and then you
What?
can get executed and sent to prison camp. 3 generations of your family.
3 generations.
3 generations of your family get sent to prison camp.
If
that not-
there's dust.
If there's dust on any of the pictures they have of their leader, who they have to love or else they get executed.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Have you seen the interview, the movie, the interview with Seth Rogen and what's the other guy's name? What's his name?
Franco, James Franco,
Yeah, no, is it
No.
James Franco or is it the other one?
one of the Francos.
It's one of the Francos. But yeah,
Yeah.
that movie. After seeing that clip, that makes me realize, wait, that movie was probably pretty accurate as to how. Well, not really. It is a comedy, but there is some like level of realism to how they treat like people just in general.
It is crazy. I mean, we are like thinking about leaving the country after a presidential election because of how upset we are, and it's like,
Right.
dude, these people would only dream of being able to even have a bit of a say on who they picked for, you know.
It's not even that. Like, in another. Wait, let's watch this other one that you sent me.
Okay, I got you.
Because I think it talks about like kind of how what a good North Korean life is,
Yeah, let's do it.
which is like
Sad.
insane. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so within North Korea, we have no freedom to travel to Pyongyang.
I was going to ask you, have you ever been to Pyongyang?
I've been before my father arrested. I've been once.
Because before your father's arrested, life was not as
He was a party member. Yeah, I had a relatively fine life for North Korean standard.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which means I had like food 3 times a day, still no electricity, no cars, no toys, still like 2 pair of clothes, no shower, no sewage, no bathroom. I mean, no refrigerator, no washer. I mean,
Wow.
that was a good North Korean lifestyle. I was not dying from starvation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did.
Jeez, dude.
And apparently that's like a huge thing, is that the government is like withhold either that or they just don't have the means to feed their people, that everybody's like starving.
That is literally crazy.
And like they don't have electricity. Oh man, what is going on here?
Don't worry about it. Had a little bit of an issue there. Hold on.
But like
okay, there we go.
like no electricity, like that's just a normal everyday life. Is like she was like fortunate, like that's a good life, is to eat 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Like just having that luxury. And I mean, they have no cars, no running water. They don't have any running water.
I wonder if there's like restaurants in North Korea. No?
I don't know, because like the way she
I don't
said
know
that
either.
you have to have the picture of the leader like in their house. Like I bet every dish is called has something to do with their leader, to like glorify him or something, like something
Yeah.
to the extreme. Like it
I
sounds
mean-
so absurd, but like that's
Happening right now. At this instant. It's happening
that's the life
right
they
now.
live.
That, and maybe
And-
for other people, they're like, yes, Kevin, you idiot. You haven't realized that's been a thing the whole time. I don't think about that. I'm thinking about my own stupid little problems I have in life that they would dream of having as a problem. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think about like the lives of people in North Korea. I mean, it literally sounds like it's out of a book. Honestly.
Yeah, it sounds like Hunger Games-esque.
Oh yeah.
Do you wanna? I watched a little bit of that podcast, and it went further as to, she was talking about her everyday life, and kind of like the hospital situation in North Korea, and it was like people would be dying or dead, like in the hospital or whatever, and rats would eat the eyeballs out of these people. And then there's sick
my
kids in the hospital and they're dying of starvation. So they would eat the rats. And then obviously eating rats, eventually kills them because it's not,
Yeah.
healthy in the slightest. And so then the rats would then eat the kids. And she said that it's so cold in North Korea and there's no electricity or anything, there would just be piles of bodies at the train station. Like that's where everybody would go to huddle up and try to survive the night. And there would just be, she said it was an everyday thing. It was like as normal as breathing. Like it didn't freak her out because that's what she saw every day. She was just like, oh, another 3
Dead
bodies
bodies.
in the corner of it. Yeah.
Whereas in
like,
America, if we see a dead body, it could change the rest of our lives. you
yeah,
know what I
like,
mean?
Traumatic, and
With,
you're in therapy for the next 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like she was also talking like they only have one train that I guess that is for public access, and it only comes by like once a month, if that. And the train doesn't even always have electricity, so it'll show up with no electricity like for a month, and so they'll push people will push a train to try to get out of their situation, to try to like move on because there's no cars.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
I wonder,
there's no-
like, you need to be. He's gonna be coming after my ass, Kim Jong. But
no, they silence everything. Like nothing like from the outside world of North Korea goes in and out. You know, it's
Yeah.
all filtered heavily. So
imagine, imagine how high. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Continue.
it's like the upper, I guess, how do you say it? Like the elites of North Korea, like
Yeah.
the leader and like his little group, the party or whatever. They're probably all living great, but to all the people, they think that they're living great, like as a country as a whole, because there's no communication across the country to say that.
Oh.
Like they all live in their little bubble. So
They're
if
all
you
blind.
live in poverty, right? If you live in a poverty little village, obviously you know your situation, but everybody else, like surrounding you, thinks that you're living the high life like everybody else, or
Yeah. Which is it's probably the saddest part of the whole entire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's so wild though. Like,
Imagine,
just
but
the
obviously, Kim Jong Un knows about every other nation and how people live. Imagine
Right,
how
'cause I
high.
think he's met with them.
It's like, imagine how high of a pedestal you'd have to sit on to see your people living the way they do and be like, I'm doing everything I can at the very best possible caliber.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He thinks he's derived from the gods.
Yeah.
I think that's what he truly believes. It's like he has been blessed by the gods to, rule the nation with the iron fist or whatever. And they do like to talk. He likes to talk a lot of smack that he's got nukes and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely enemies of the U.S., but they can't hold a candle to our flame. If is that how the saying goes?
I'm not sure. What did you mean?
Like they're just a tiny flame, and we would crush them like a bug in a heartbeat.
I don't know about that.
You think North Korea could?
They can't wipe I mean, nuclear warfare would happen. Like millions of people would die, and it would be a lot worse than you would even consider to think about. It wouldn't be like we would have squashed them by now if it would have been that easy.
Right, but I don't think there's a reason to.
Absolutely, there's a reason to. Did you just hear what those girls said? We know that.
But
we know that.
The U.S. is you can't just go in there.
We are equally as bad if we knowingly know what's happening there and we don't do anything about it. If it was as easy as just eliminating,
No, I didn't mean like that to pull off like a South Korea, because I think isn't that how North and South Korea came to be, is the Korean War? Something like that.
I know.
History.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think South Korea was liberated by the U.S. Of governing powers that were, had a stranglehold on the people.
Yeah.
There's some kind of something like that, but I think North and South Korea were already split by the time that happened. I think we helped South Korea beat North Korea in the war.
Oh, okay. Just like
if I remember correctly,
the war of South and North Carolina and Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a brutal one, but
Yeah.
they ended up.
Yeah,
up.
and they even forgot about Old York and Old Hampshire.
I know, what the hell.
It's
They just
completely wiped off the map.
they just made a new one. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, same with Mexico, but that one's still around.
That's true. That one is still around, and I would say the new one is a little bit smaller than.
Yeah, I don't know. that doesn't make any sense to me. But
So
back to the topic. Like, I don't think, as much as the U.S. loves to just like get involved with other countries' problems,
yeah,
like it does. I mean, you make a good point. Is like, why don't we go in there and try to like free these people? But like, you could say the same thing about Cuba or Russia. I mean, I just don't think it's worth it in the grand scheme of things, because you're just like trying to piss people off. With like North Korea, I don't know who would be on their side. Like, I don't know who their allies are. Maybe China, if they're just like China's looking for a reason to scrap.
Yeah, I think there was I could be wrong. I don't know if North Korea was involved, but wasn't there like a new accord from like China, Russia, and maybe North Korea?
The BRICS?
I don't remember. I just remember I remember like seeing something on social media saying like, "You guys, this is bad news," and they talked about this accord that happened with like,
North Korea's not involved.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Here's a new can of worms and I'm glad we're running out of time, because we could just go on. My TikTok is crazy. They're trying to ban TikTok, and there's much more that meets the eye with that. And the US dollar is failing. Don't want to scare everyone, but Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa have united with like a new national bank to where gold is backing their, money or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And I think they're using the Chinese currency, but it's all backed by gold. And so that's putting the US dollar at like less value, which is becoming invaluable throughout the world as like the most dominated currency. So yeah, I don't think North Korea is involved with that, but that is happening. That has already happened.
Yeah.
And, Saudi Arabia and other Middle East nations have partnered with Russia and China for like oil and natural gas, and it's not looking good for the old home team. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Just as far as like world affairs, we're just a bunch of dicks, and yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms. Do your own research is all I got to say. Like, obviously, I may not know everything. I know I don't know everything. There's probably other stuff that, people put their own motives on stuff on the internet and spin it. But I think something to that scale has some truth in it.
Yeah.
So if it's that serious, I think there's some truth in it. But, you could also like kind of angle it in a direction to where it looks worse than it actually is. But I don't know. We'll have to do your own research and find out, because go USA. I don't know.
Go team, baby. Roll
Go
Tide.
Team.
Roll.
We do not roll with the tides.
Yeah. Roll US. Roll
OH.
Roll Bald Eagle.
Roll Eagle. That's like Auburn and Alabama. Wow. That'll be a day when Alabama and Auburn fans unite.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like the South.
We are just about done here.
This is kind of a wild one today.
Kind of a serious one. We usually are pretty goofy, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like we hit some.
Do you want us? We could roast the hell out of North Korea right now. They'll never know.
That's true, because they'll never hear this podcast.
Yeah. Well, not many people do.
Yeah, damn straight.
Not many Americans will hear this podcast.
Yeah. Well,
until the FBI bangs on our door.
KJU, fuck you, man.
KGB.
That's a whole different thing.
What is the KJO? What is that?
Kim Jong.
Kim Jong.
Yeah. I don't like that guy.
Yeah, me neither. What a total dick.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Do you know he doesn't poop? He doesn't have a butthole.
I heard about that. Yeah, he doesn't actually have a butthole. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't either. Find out next week when I prove it. But hey, yeah, speaking of buttholes, let's just pinch it off.
Nice. Push it out.
Yeah, okay.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Until next time, peace.